things all my success stories have in common. Hey guys, hope you're well. And in this video, I will be sharing some common traits that I have seen in all the success stories that I have posted. So, if you don't know, I have been coaching manifestation and I have been talking about conscious creation, manifestation, law of assumption, things in the conscious creation realm for the past 4 years online, right? I have been coaching for the past 4 years too, and I have been into this journey for the past 8+ years. In this time frame, I have taught more than 5,000 to 300 500 people, right? And I also have 13 success stories highlight on my Instagram channel. The link for that is in the bio. I have a lot of success stories here on YouTube. If you go back, I post a success story almost every week. I share a different success story almost every week. There are some traits that I have found in all my success stories, and these are traits that are not different, right? So these are not traits that I have seen in one or two success stories, or let's say in 8 out of 10. These are traits that I have seen in 10 out of 10 success stories. So these traits, if these traits are developed by you are also going to become one of them, right? Why? Because there are common habits and common ideas towards success, right? Similar things that successful people will do. If you generally see and learn about successful people, you will see that all of them have a similar set of traits, right? A similar set of way of thinking. There are different habits, there are different ways through which they go about it. So some can be slightly gentle, some can be more aggressive, some can be slightly underconfident and humble, some can be too overconfident, right? You can read this in, and you can see this in athletes, business people, like everyone. You will see that there will be some traits which will be similar and some different. If we just focus on getting these similar traits better, we would anyway increase our chances of getting success. So let's talk about a few traits that are always going to be there in every success story that I have seen till now and moving forward to. Number one, all of my success story clients are actually super open. What does this mean? That they are very open to advice. So getting defensive, being in denial, these are very common things. We as a human species, we are always going to be defensive to a certain level. Why? Because every idea that we have, every belief that we have developed, we have built it up over a period of time. These are not things that just were built in a day, right? So when someone comes and tells us that you might be thinking wrong or that you should change your way of thinking, a lot of times it can be taken as an attack to all the time that we have spent gathering this information. What does that mean? It means that somewhere we can feel negative about it because we feel that I have spent so much time trying to gather this information that if someone is now coming and telling me that it's wrong, I will feel like all my time was wasted. But people who actually end up getting successful are very open about this. They are very open about the things that they need to work on. They are very open about the advice that they need to take. They know that if they actually want to change, then they will have to be open to the idea of change. So I have seen this in all my clients, maybe not instantly, but eventually they are very open to advice. They're very open to knowing where they can change. There are some hard things that we talk about, some hard truths, but they are open to the idea of change. Number two, all are consistent. Now, consistency can mean many things. Consistency can mean being consistent with your reactions, being consistent with your habits, your affirmations, your techniques, your mindset, your perceptions. And to a degree, we are all very consistent people. I was having a conversation with one of my clients 2 3 days back, right? And I asked him a question: do you feel that you're a consistent person? He said no, right? But then I asked him, like, what is your daily routine? And he said that, oh, one thing I definitely do is at 9 p.m. I drink a cup of coffee, and then I smoke a cigarette, or I do some things, but these are things I never miss. So when I mentioned to him that, but it seems that you are very consistent, just in the wrong things, right? We are all consistent by nature at something. There is something that you would be consistent at. Labeling yourself as a consistent person really helps. Well, people who actually end up getting success, they turn that consistency towards things that they actually want and the habit that will get them there. Number three, they don't run away from circumstances. So I talked about this deeply in my last video where I discussed about the difference between being delusional and living in the end. And I talked about how these things, if you face your circumstances and you come out of them, they will teach you a lot and you will get a lot of knowledge, you will grow a lot. People who end up getting successes in manifestation, they end up looking back and they are not running away from their lives. They are not running away from their circumstances. You should definitely check the video out. The link is in the bio. It's actually my last video, but there I talk about this in detail, where I discuss about how facing these circumstances actually helps you. Number four, people who end up getting successes, they have all faced resistance. Now, I will first explain what is resistance, because till now I was coming from this assumption that you all know what resistance is. But I got a few questions a few days back. Someone was asking me, "What do you mean by resistance?" So basically, resistance is anything that tells you that you won't get what you want. It can be negative feelings, it can be negative assumptions, it can be a part of you that tells you you wouldn't receive what you want, or that you're not going to be happy, or that things will not work out for you. Or it can be negative thoughts, it can be some circumstances in front of you. All people who have gotten success have dealt with resistance. The issue is, a lot of times when we face resistance, we start running away from it. We think that we are doing something wrong, that's why resistance is there. But resistance being there is not necessarily because we are doing something wrong. Resistance can come because of many reasons. We just need to be in a position where we are able to understand and establish that, right? I already have steps on how to deal with resistance in a video on how to deal with resistance in my bio, so you should check it out. I have talked about resistance in detail there. The next one, all people who have ever gotten success, they all had fear at some point. So when we compare ourselves with people, right, we have these pedestalized ideas that, oh, Karan, I got this text from one of my clients. She said that, Karan, when I see your success stories, earlier I used to pedestalize your manifestation skills, but when I read your client success stories, I also pedestalize them. I feel that they can do something that I cannot. It's just because we feel that these people are too different. No, they are just some people who have been very consistent. There's still it's still a human being. I was watching this video, I think Creed, where while this fight was happening, this guy comes and tells him, Creed, that, oh, he's just a man. That is just the same thing that I'm talking about here, that every person who has gotten what they wanted in their life has been at the stage that you are right now, where they were mediocre at it. Number one. Number two, they all had fears. They're literally the same way as you are. It's just that they have worked on this and they have gotten better. So getting fear is nothing wrong. It's a part and parcel of life, and it's a part and parcel of manifestation. It's just one emotion that you will feel as a human being. You are not weak towards it. You're not in control. You are in control of it, and you can deal with it. So accepting that fear is normal is going to help us a lot. The next thing people who have gotten successes had in common is that they all worked on their self concept. So if you are following me, or if you have been following me for a while, you already know that I talk about the concept of self concept, self work, self image a lot. I think I am the one who talks about it the most. Why? Because one thing I have seen, which is very common in all my success stories, is that people who end up getting successes always work on their self concept. When we just get into the manifestation journey, we are not where we want to be. And at that time, that need for that desire feels very high. We just want it right now. We just feel that if we wouldn't have it, we wouldn't be able to feel good, we wouldn't be able to feel better. And that is what our mindset is at that point. Because of this, there is this utter need to just focus on the manifestation. Whenever I start my journey with someone, I give them a lot of self concept work. Why? Because one, it helps you with your manifestation. Two, it makes the journey towards it easier. Three, it makes you less obsessed. Four, it makes you like yourself, which is always good. And five, because while you are getting this situation, eventually the goal is not just to get it, it is to have it stay in your life. So working on your self concept is very important. It develops confidence, it develops peace of mind, and it's something that no one who has gotten successful has missed. The last one, they focused on themselves for themselves. Now this is going to be in complement to the last point that I made. So a lot of times when I give people self concept work, we start doing it, right? But then 5, 6, 7, 10 days later, I get a question from them asking me that, hey Karan, I'm doing the self concept work, but how will my SP get to know if I'm doing my self concept work? Or if I'm doing my self concept work, why is my SP not texting me? If you just genuinely see what the true mindset is, it is towards still working on the SP, just that. So the mindset is that I will work on my self concept so that it gets me my SP or it gets me my manifestation. That is not the reason to do self concept work. This is actually just making you more attached to them. If you want to work on yourself for yourself, because you deserve it, because you want to be that version of yourself, because you don't ever want to get into a zone where you don't end up getting what you want, you miss your manifestations. Those are things that you don't actually want. Focus on you for you. And this is one common thing that I have seen in all my success stories, is that the burning desire is not to get their manifestation. The burning desire is to change. The burning desire is to not live this life anymore in the way that I have been living. It is to get to and become a version of me who has what I want and who can make me happy. So, self concept work has to be done for you. And this is a common trait which you should develop if you are trying to manifest something and you want to be one of the success stories. So, I hope that you learned something from this and that you're able to apply these traits in your life. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you like the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.